Yes.
Okay, let's
And
start. So, good evening, guys. This is DM Mari. This is going to be today's kind of onboarding as well as session zero for Mahikolehiyo players. So, funnily enough, ang marong akong kasama right now is majority of the faculty members, but this is not the entire faculty members. So, right now, I will be introducing first who I am as well as my campaign. And then later on, I will also introduce our players, specifically yung interim natin na vice principal, and then one of our head of the department na artificing college natin. So, start. Let me just introduce myself. So, I'm DM Mari.
oh,
I
you
am both the dean, the headmaster, the game master, as well as the big bitch on top, the head chair. So, thank you very much again for participating here on my game. So, I really want to greet everyone who wants to play with us tonight or who want to be a part of this campaign and then the succeeding games. So thank you very much again for your participation. Uh, First off, I want to introduce who I am, why bakit ko pinili ang college na campaign, and then what's my history as a DM. So, I started the actual love of tabletop RPGs a few years back. So, during like the very height of the pandemic around say 2021 2022. So because of media's like Critical Role, Dimension 20, Legends of Avantis, as well as Legends and Daddies, to name a few, they're the reason why I really wanted to get into this space, because not only do they create fiction wherein we can just have fun, essentially like playing a video game, it also helps us DMs as well as players to create a really good story together in a collaborative effort, as well as shape the actual world that we have created, but also to have fiction affect our daily life in some way, shape, or form. And not only that, Mahikolehiyo is actually a labor of love from me, because I really love a lot of fictional settings. I really like, it's a collage of how much I love fiction as a genre, not just in movies, TV shows, as well as games, but I also loved them growing up when I was reading books. Say for example, Narnia, Harry Potter, even though I fucking hate J.K. Rowling for being a turf. Fuck you, Rowling. I'm going to nab this from you. And then, not only that, but I also have a really, really high appreciation of scholastics. So, schools, colleges, the universities, all of that hoo ha. And it's not just I love them for like the prestige that it gives. I also love the idea that schools is a training ground for all students to learn, as well as to get interested or to be interested in the stuff that they never knew that they were interested in the first place. Because what is school but to nurture young, bright minds? And that's why I wanted to share a little bit of my love, not just for gaming and for storytelling, but as well for the scholastics, hence Mahikolehiyo. So, first off, mabuhay ang Pilipinas. So, obviously, I'm going to center the setting here in the Philippines. Why the Philippines, you would ask? First off, we're fucking cool. Mabuhay ang Pilipino. Second, we have such a really large and beautiful tapestry of history. The a majority of us Filipinos don't know our history is a very concerning and a little bit appalling, to say the least. But then again, it's not always the student's fault. Usually it is the actual uh, school system's fault. So for that, again, mabuhay ang Pilipinas, and TLDR, I just really want to focus the Philippines as our main setting because one, there's a lot of stories for us Filipinos to share. Not just yung mga Manileños, not just yung mga Provincianos, even Phil-Ams na lumaki dito sa Pinas, or mga Phil-Am na, or mga Filipinos from different parts of our country who are slowly but surely getting back into their Filipino roots. So that's why. And then, bakit college campaign? Oh, so why is it a college campaign? Well, for those who don't know me personally, or who for those who are personally getting to know me as a person, I have been in college for almost 6 to 7 years. For the lore, I will share that lore later to those who wanna know. But the reason, yeah, 7 years na ako sa hinayupak na kolehiyo, but I wouldn't want it any other way. All of these 7 years combined helped me to foster my love of the academia and also find the cracks within academia that may or may not be noticed by our fellow students, by our fellow faculties, etc., etc. And another way for me to also like engage and finally fall in love with college and not hate it for the shithole that it is, and to fall in love with it again for what it could and should be. First is college. It should be a breeding ground of all students to make mistakes, so that when the time comes when you're in an actual setting of, say for example, for a corporate setting or a medical setting, you're allowed to make the mistakes that you want to make in this period of time, so that when you become a professional, like sure, the mistakes will still happen, but it's still at the very least up to your control. And not only that, it also is a really good time for like college students to get to know themselves in a deeper level. So, porkit sabihin natin mga 18 years old ka na or 17 years old, you should know the shit that you want to do in your life. Fuck no! Definitely not. College should always be a time period of you to finally know who you want to be, finally know what your interests are, and to not be too pressured with the realities of life. Once you get out of college, that's the time it will sink in that fuck, I should have enjoyed my college time and took it also seriously. So that's a second. And third but not the least is, this is also a coping mechanism for me because I'm currently almost exiting my college life right now, and a majority of my own friends and as well as like my colleagues in this school that I am right now, so shout out to my fellow Our Lady of Fatima University Valenzuela students. Y'all will never know this, alam ko sa inyo, so like shout out pa din to all of my colleagues as well as my friends in Fatima. They know me personally on how long I've been staying here. So the trials and tribulations, they know it fully well. So I want to also show and share a bit of my life in this campaign, and then somehow mirror some of like the life experiences that I had but also other people had during college. Di porkit na 18 again, you should know your life. And di porkit kunwari you're in like your 20s, your 30s, or 40s, di ka na pwede mag-college. Fuck no. College has no age limit. So even in your 40s, your 50s, or 60s, if you want to go back to college to get back into your passions, fuck yes. Do it. Nothing's gonna stop you. That's the only thing that's going to stop you. Why let it harbor any like fear in your heart? Do what you want, especially with the time that you have. So, again, another reason why I'm still going back to the Filipino culture is, again, a majority and the crux of my own passions for this campaign alone is focused on me growing up as mostly a pure Filipino, mostly no, majority is me being a Manileño. Why do I say mostly Malileño? Because I would love to believe that Manila is a really good hodgepodge or like a mixture of almost all cultures sa Pinas. Because every corner of Manila, Metro Manila rather, you would see that Meron mga taga Visayas, mga Bisaya, there are Pampangueños, meron mga Caviteños, meron rin mga taga Davao, and then not only that, there are also like foreigners who want to be a Filipino, and then there are also like mixed races. So may mga half Filipino and half Americans, half Thai people, whatever, whatever. You can see that Manila is a really good mixing pot because it's a marriage of not just Filipino cultures, but the cultures that we also tend to like adopt and accept. Because again, ang Pilipino, kilala sila para sa magiging hospitable, loving, warm, and kind-hearted. And I would like to believe that in this campaign, I would love to showcase, or like I would also want my players to showcase their love of being a Filipino and all of the best parts, especially the worst parts of being a Filipino. Again, why Mahikolehiyo? Another tidbit to those who do not know me, I am a fucking huge nerd. I'm a fucking huge geek. And I draw an inspiration, again, not a surprise, to the Harry Potter series, even though I fucking hate the creator and medyo hindi ganun kaganda ang pagkakasulat niya or world building, but then again, there's fan fictions and then there's this campaign. And not just the fantasy novels that I grew up with, a huge portion and a huge majority of why I wanted to create this campaign is to also pay an homage to the number one headmaster and the sexiest mommy. She would also appreciate that, so don't clock me. Bria Iyengar, the headmaster of Misfits and Magic. Fucking love you so much, Bria. Hope you notice me one day. Yeah, going back after that tangent, I love the series Misfits and Magic because it's a huge marriage of the actual wizarding world plus Scholastica plus the insanity of what is it to be like a kid or like a Gen Z to be entrusted or like be put in a magical setting where none of this makes any fucking sense. And that's what I also want to do here with Mahikolehiyo. Like, sure, we have a magical part of the Philippines, but it's not that much tap. What if you're a newcomer to the magical scene and then you're like, oh shit, none of this makes sense. Why are we still putting up with this? Kind of like the Filipino government and bureaucracy. So yeah, now that we have known what Mahikolehiyo is, as well as who I am, as well as what are the inspirations, before we start meeting the characters, I also want to give first a huge, like, in a quick summary or rundown of what are our four like main campaigns or more of like campuses for the Mahikolehiyo campaign. So first off, I want to shout out my fellow Tomasians. So go uste, but at the same time, so it's not a surprise to any of my friends that this campaign is based off of as well the UAAP. So not to say na hindi ko papansinin ang NCAA. I will give credit where credit is due to the NCAA's players. But for now, I want to focus on with the big four UAAP na campuses. So, first and foremost, my alma mater, UST, which is aptly named as USS for Mahikolehiyo. It stands for Universidad ng Santo Santissimo. So, its drawing influence the from UST, wherein USS or Santo Santissimo is steeped in tradition and religious scholarship. Thank you very much for that, Blowhorn. Appreciate it that much. So, students here in USS or Santo Santissimo are students that specialize in faith-based magic, uh, artificers, and the study of ancient artifacts. So our colors are purple, yellow, and white, and our mascot is the Sari Manok, a mythical bird symbolizing protection and guidance as well as rebirth. So anytime that I also want to share this with my fellow Santissimos, my Sarimanoks. Every time that we have a squabble or mag-aaway ang USS with any of the other UAAP schools, our fights will be called asabong. So, if you're going up Asari Manok, best believe na yung laban na to is a sabong. So, besides that, another part of the or another school that I want to focus now is the stand-in version of the Universidad ng Pilipinas or UP is PNB, which stands for Pamantasan ng Bayani. So, Pamantasan ng mga Bayani or the Bayanis is mirroring UP, wherein PNB fosters a spirit of nationalism and innovation. So, if you know anyone who's from UP, mga isko, so imagine your typical isko or a bayani, and they're fucking scattered everywhere. I'm talking PNB Manila, PNB Diliman, PNB Baguio, PNB Cebu, PNB Davao. They're fucking everywhere. And for a right reason though. Because they are what we call our activists, our nationalists, and usually they go hand in hand with our Santissimos. But they have like a whole ass like squabble. They have a whole ass history that I would love to get into more with my players. So next, besides UP, yung mga katabi niya or yung neighbors niya. So first off, it's OG neighbor, which is Ateneo University, or in our version of Mahikolehiyo, the Universidad de Adarna ng Maynila or UDAM. So, ang UDAM, they're inspired by Ateneo de Manila, or colloquially known as the Adarnas. So, the Adarnas are renowned for its focus on scholarly pursuits and the pursuit of knowledge. So, think of it this way. So, if we have the Sarimanoks, uh, our number one like BFFs will be the Adarnas, because both of them are like the geek or the nerd versions of Mahikolehiyo. So think of that what you will. So, besides the Adarnas, these students are also well versed in classical magic and theoretical underpinnings, hence the nerd derogatory. Their colors are blue, magenta, and gold, and again, their mascot is the mythical Adarna bird, symbolizing wisdom and discernment. And not only that, this is a funny thing. If you ever provoke an Adarna, let it be known that their shit will petrify you. So, anytime you provoke an Adarna, best known that if they will shit on you and you will stay in that position for a long ass time. So, besides the Adarnas, their number one rival, like rivals to lovers nila, is La Salle University. Oh, so LaSalle University, their in-universe version will be Kolehiyo ng Salamanca at Encantadia. So the KSEs or the Encantadias is known for their emphasis on practicality and social justice as well as beauty. So the students here excel in elemental magic and community service. Their colors are green, brown, and white, and their mascot is the Encantada, a benevolent fairy said to protect nature and those in need. So those are like our four main muna na universities. But to whoever wants to be a part of any of the schools, fucking let me know because I will entertain the heck out of it. But for now, I will first be focusing on my alma mater, the Santissimo Sarimanox. So now that I've introduced the actual campaign, the DM or the GM, the actual like inspirations, and the schools, now I will introduce my player characters. So for tonight's session, I want to introduce first our two faculty members or our player faculty members, because the other faculty members I will be introducing in our actual session 1 and session 0 for the students on the admissions. So first off, I'm going to first introduce our tragic twink, our emo daddy, or emo twink with daddy issues. Give it up for Bach.
Okay. Wait, legit ba? I have to introduce myself na
Uh,
in
you,
character and stuff?
you can
Or can I just
introduce
talk about him?
yourself, like your name and then your pronouns, and then you can give a short like description of Bach. But then again, we have at least until 10. So like go wild, my dude.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, na-pressure bigla eh. Hindi ko alam na literal na mag-introduce ako. Kala ko ifa-flash lang yung picture niya sa screen and I'll be like, nice. Anyway, so si Bak, wait, I have to look at his picture when I think about him. Sabi ko nga make assumptions kasi wala akong sinusulat much about him. I just look at him and think, what would this twink do? So, si Bak kasi, okay lang ba i-reveal yung backstory? Like yung,
Oh
niya,
yeah.
or are you gonna include that pa sa story?
Oh, you can introduce the backstory now because once we play it, it's
Okay.
gonna get more insane. Knowing me.
Okay. Okay, okay. So, si Bak kasi, siya yung typical teenage rebelde when he was younger. So, think of someone with long hair, tattoos, and that's the reason why he's so covered up. He has a lot of tattoos on his body that I'm not gonna draw kasi I'm not a masochist like that. Tapos, meron siyang greatest regret, which is that he kind of was a bit of a headache sa tatay niya. And then he realizes later on na maybe he wasn't that bad of a dude. Too bad he's dead now. Anyway, so ayun nga, patay tatay niya. So he's like, damn, maybe I should take over. Not this Kasha. Ako lang to. So ayun, he takes over yung position ng tatay niya, which is why he's currently a professor. Some might say nepo baby, others might say trauma. Pero the point is, si Bak right now, what he really wants is to live up dun sa expectations ng people, dun sa family name nila. So that's his main goal right now. The problem is, his past keeps fucking haunting him. Like, yung broom niya is called the Punisher, and it's chrome. Tapos yung wand niya is made up, yung, alam niyo pag dinikitan niya na madaming sticker yung bagay, ganun yung itsura. So right now, he's just living in a bit of regret, but also kind of misses yung wild time niya as a child. As a person, he's still a bit of an asshole. Like, he never grew out of that phase. Tapos, he lives with his best friend, si Art. Kasi si Art kasi, he's a werewolf. Tapos, I don't know, somehow naging familiar niya si Art. And yung scratch sa face niya, galing kay Art yon when they first kind of met. And it's just stayed like that. So I guess you could say it's kind of like a wedding ring. Tapos so they live together. And then si Art kasi, he's like typical domestic husband. Think of si Tatsu dun sa Immortal House husband. Parang ganun siya. Tapos, what else can I say about him? I should have like prepared for this. Pero anyway,
It's okay.
yeah. He's fucking gay. He's a bit of a slut. And yeah, that's also part of the problem. Like the people he slept before, some of them were important people. So now it's kind of like, oh shit, he has to deal with that now and remain professional. As a teacher, he's known as kind of like, si Prof, si Prof Bak yan. Medyo bastos magsalita, pero matututo ka naman dyan. Like, they like him, but they also know he's not afraid to call them out on their shit. Tas, what else? He's rich, so that's nice. Wala mo masabi, that's nice. Tapos, ano pa ba? I think right now, ang masasabi ko lang about Art is that he's just trying his best. He's never really got out of that emo phase. Like, in his heart, he's still at the Black Parade. Pero he also has to pay taxes now. So he's trying to balance that out. He's just trying to be his best to be his version of an adult. And that's a little messy, but that's fine. He's technically skilled in what he does. It's just that in his mind, tingin niya pa rin sa sarili niya is like an immature kid despite teaching for like 10 years now. Talagang he doesn't feel like he's grown up. Lagi niyang kino-compare sarili niya na like at this age my dad did that, at this age my mom did that. So he has that weird obsession with trying to be better even though technically he's good at what he does. Fucking stupid ass bitch. Anyway, tapos the little red thing sa kanyang scarf shit is like a family heirloom that was passed down and that's really important to him. Yun lang. Yun ang masasabi ko for now. Hindi ako prepared eh. So, yun.
I mean, you can still talk about the relationships when. Kasi later, medyo mahaba-haba din yung kay ano eh, kay Nadi. Kasi ang haba rin ng kay Nate. Like, we're going to dump Nate. Pwede mo nang i-dump si
Ano ba
Art.
relation?
Kasi ina-dump ko si Monica. Kailangan natin isama yung mga jowa nila.
Okay. So, si Art, wait, fuck, I should send his drawing then. Kasi, when I think of my characters, I don't write them down. I just draw them. And like, based sa mga na-drawing ko, that's how I make assumptions about their character. Kaya, literal yung sinend ko na, make assumptions about him. Because I don't write shit down. Unfortunately for me, I don't write shit down. Nasa na yung drawing ko nung kay Back? Magsisend ka ba? File too big! Wait lang. I have to send this to my messenger and then download it manually. Ugh. In a perfect world, walang size limit ang Discord.
Real.
But we live in a society. Pero for a bit of context lang din, si Back at Art, they're best friends turned bandmates turned house husbands? Question mark. Walang label yung relationship nila, which kind of pisses everyone off. Because like, at this point, might as well, you're practically married. Pero sa kanilang dalawa, they're kind of oblivious to the fact that they are kind of married already. And let me send these shits. I keep calling them shits. Like, they're my sons, but also they're shits. Ayan. So, yung sinend ko sa chat, I'll talk about them. Ayan. So, that lady there, kaya nakasarado mata niya kasi deads na siya. Yan yung nanay ni, yan yung nanay ni Bak. And she's like a renowned musician. Like, yung tatay niya was like, ooh, oh shit, I gotta bag her. She's a bad bitch. Parang ganon. She comes from a technically mas prominent yung family niya kaysa dun sa family ni nung tatay ni Bak. Which is why yung si Bak, yung tatay niya, nagsipag to really earn that name for himself. Like, he had to publish a bunch of papers, meet with a bunch of people, para lang mapantayan yung prestige nung pangalan nung gusto niya mapangasawa. And later on, it works out for them. They get married. She dies. Haven't decided how she dies yet, but she's dead. At yun ang importante. Anyway, so nung younger years ni Bak, he really doesn't remember much of his mom. He knows he liked his mom, pero if you ask him like concrete memories, he can't give any kasi he was too young when she died. So it's like a very, oh, I liked her, but I DK her. Parang ganon. Anyway, etong isang picture, yung umiiyak siya, tapos kino-comfort siya ni Art kasi, ba't nga ba? Kasi bakla sila. Anyway, kakamatay lang ng tatay niya dyan. So, he's crying and he's cutting off his hair. Very Mulan of him. Tas parang, he gets emotional because that hair is kind of like something special to him. Nung nagre-rebelde kasi siya, like yan yung first thing na ginawa niya is to dye his hair all black. If you notice kasi dun sa character design niya, meron siyang puting something sa buhok niya. And that's kind of hereditary. So, he and his dad have that. So, that's something na namana niya. And so, nung nagre-rebelde siya, he dyed his hair all black because he just didn't want to be associated with the guy anymore. Part of the reason na ayaw niya ma-associate is kasi nga, they're from like this fancy-ass name na parang he doesn't want to have to live up to that. He doesn't believe, parang, how do I explain it? He wants to be free from that name rather. Ganon. Like, hindi niya ma-appreciate yung dad niya until later in life. Tapos itong second drawing, that's si Art tsaka si Bak. Hindi ka pala nasend yung isa. Wait, may isa pa silang drawing. Pero yan yung dynamic nilang dalawa. Na they're good friends to the point na friends nga lang ba? Wait. Meron akong running joke for them eh. Kunento ko na kay Mari. Kasi, wait, where the fuck is it? Ayun. I'm sorry, ako matagal. Kasi I have to pa to my messenger. This is so annoying. You know who wouldn't do this? No one. Because we live in a capitalistic society.
No one.
Yung may limit yung size na pwede upload online. Ayan. So, ito yung basically running joke nila na si Bak, Team Edward siya. Kasi werewolf nga si fucking Art. And he's like, oh, Team Edward, fuck you, Jacob. Dog stink, parang ganon. Tapos si ano naman, si Art, to get back, he buys a cross. Tapos parang papaalala sa kanya ni Bak na, you know I'm not a vampire, right? Like, I'm a fucking elf. You can see my ears. Pero kasi si Art, minsan nadadala siya ng ano niya, ng thoughts niya. Medyo may ADHD yan eh. So, pag na-excite siya, nawawala na lahat ng common sense niya. He's like, yes, I'm gonna buy a cross. I'm gonna fuck with him. Tapos, late niya nang na-realize, oh nga pala, hindi siya vampira. So, ayun yung dynamic nilang dalawa. Like, it gets worse for Vaccine first. Palaging may ko yung real. Yung dalawang that's profs that every student has a crush on. Real. Oh my God.
And
Tapos since they don't put a label on it,
the funniest part,
this is a bad example.
yes, please share
Ano
that.
yan?
Please share.
Okay, this is a bad example. Pero kasi yung yung parang nai-imagine ko for them is like Dan and Phil. If familiar kayo sa Dan and Phil, parang ganun yung ano nila na everyone is like, are they together? Shouldn't they be together at this point? But they never confirm it. They don't deny, they don't confirm. They just live together, share a mortgage together, share meals together, have a lifetime of memory together, but maybe they're just friends. Who knows? Yun yung ano nila. Ano pa ba? Mari, you gotta give me questions to answer kasi I'm running out of words.
Human share ko na lang din as yung headmaster na nakikita lahat tapos naririnig ang lahat. In terms of the relationship between Art and Bach, because Art already owns like the beer garden na malapit sa mismong Pinoval. Pati rin doon sa Espanya.
Yes.
Pati rin doon sa
Yes.
Dapitan. So like, almost 3 corners of USS, merong kagad establishmento si Art. And not only that, si Art rin, meron siyang catering services. So, a majority of like, not just the establishments, pati na rin yung mismo lunch, breakfast, dinner ng mga estudyante ng canteens for the alchemist, pati rin ng artificing and engineering departments. May-ari nun ng mismong catering company is Art. So,
Real. Thank you, Mari, for remembering. I'm really just an OC creator with the vibes. Yun lang ako.
again, what's the point of me being a DM if I'm not going to contribute to the enrichment of your characters? Diba?
Hell yeah.
And besides that as well, I will be sharing later kasi mamaya after ng screen recording because I don't want the students to know yet kung sino yung ibang faculty members. I will be introducing other NPCs of mine. Pero basically, we have the entire Skittle squad for the actual faculty members. With
Skittle Squad.
a Skittle squad, yes. And not only that, there is like a quote-unquote evil character and you will never know who that is. So my lips are sealed on
Nice.
that. But yeah, a majority of them are the Skittle squad, and then funnily enough, 2 of the actual like yung interim na vice principal, also like the head of the bards, yung department of bards, which is si Bach, and then yung department of engineering / artificing, si Nate. Both of them are also like infamously yung pinaka-pogi na twink teachers. So,
Amazing. Love that branding.
take that as you
Correction po. Correction po, tuwang po si Nathaniel. Yun
So,
po.
for that, mamaya ko na ikukwento yung tungkol na magiging best friends ninyo in Mahikolehiyo because I don't want the students to know on who those are. For now, let's go ahead and move on to the baby girl himself, si Nathaniel.
Okay. Ito na yung 10 Netflix seasons ba yung nabasa ko?
Yes. Meron din po akong nakalimutan ko idagdag doon. Palagi ako nagte-TED Talk tungkol kay Nathaniel. So, Okay. So I honestly like don't know where to begin, even though I am the most prepared kasi I have an actual motherfucking like Google sheet for Nathaniel Emberhorn master file. It's a master file even. It has subtabs and subtabs and subtabs of everything. So like first of all, just like to start everything, thank you so much to Mari for existing in the first place, and also like existing not just as Mari, the beloved DM herself with all of her personalities and her sunshininess combined. Dagdag pa doon sa bonus na yon is feeding the delusions of her fellow creative friends. So, shout out po kay Miss Mari DM. Thank you fucking so much na na-revive din si Nate ulit, yung Nathaniel Brainrot ko. Real! Thank you! Anyway, so, hi for everybody else na nakikinig or makikinig to this recording. I'm the creator of this character is my name's Nadi. Hanggang dun na lang muna yung malalaman nyo kasi yung the rest is like sub-levels pa na i-unlock nyo. Charits. Anyway, I'm 25. Technically, I'm not really ashamed to share my age. And I've been like creating or like I've created Nathaniel since 2017 pa. And to give everybody a small fun fact, he was created out of the Hamilton fandom. And gagawin ko na lang mystery kung paano to make y'all guess how he managed to come out of that like fandom. So, over the years that I've developed Nathaniel, no, not really an antimatic. It's kwento ko mamaya. But like going back, over the years that I've developed Nathaniel, he really just started out just as a character na I wanted to ship with like other characters ganon. Tapos he also kind of like became a catalyst for my expression of uh what do you call this, exploring my queerness kumbaga, kasi he was formerly just a ML men love men
Madam.
lover. I don't know,
Madam.
like oh my god, I'm rambling so much. Like I am rambling. But to give like a better summarized version of yung how he's developed for the years, he really has become from just being a character I ship with like other characters and being just a D&D character to fill in the gap to suddenly becoming one of the most passionate projects that I've ever put up as a creative, and he has become such a labor of love for myself too. Like like he was just so one-dimensional before na a character lang siya that I've just made. And then now he has become more than just an extension of myself. He's suddenly like a reflection of all of my current relationships and to like my past traumas, and somehow some other people resonate with him. So Nathaniel right now is a full ass 3D character. At this point kulang na lang maging totoong tao siya or like an actual being in existence in real life. So that's a good introduction of why I sound like I'm rambling so passionately about Nathaniel. Lol. Ayun. So, I'm just gonna read na lang yung script ko from the Google Docs to make it a little more shorter because I admittedly will ramble hours and hours about him. But since this is like public information pa, hindi ako basta-basta magbibigay ng info. Si Mari yung nakasubscribe sa
Hihi.
very top tier Patreons ko for that. At siya lang muna for now makakakuha nun other than my boyfriend. By the way, shout out din sa boyfriend ko. He's low-key become an inspiration to how I create Nathaniel. You're welcome. Anyway. Okay. So for his like background or like his, let's say, his basic biographical information, his full name is Nathaniel Tomas Emberhorn. Very fucking Filipino-esque yung pagka-pangalan. His MBTI is ISTJ. Alignment is neutral good. His class, of course, syempre being the department head of engineering or artificing, he is an artificer. In comparison to a human age, he would be around the age of 27, 28, or like making him one of the youngest department heads siguro of of this university or slash organization. And syempre, very Filipino na Filipino. He doesn't come from anywhere else. He's fucking Filipino. That's it. Pilipinong. Putang ng Pilipino. And his family has a father, Alexander Maven Sword. His mother is Jenilyn Emberhorn. He has a younger sibling, si Gaia Josephine Emberhorn. He is the eldest. He's the eldest child. So, imagine mo na ngayon yung kind of trauma that I've inflicted on him. I apologize. That's why I'm trying to give him a better life right now. Ayun. What else? So, I don't know for this context. Like, in this new kasi his basic background is just parang yun yung blueprint that is gonna be for every new campaign that I join. Yun yung blueprint. Like, yun lang muna yung backstory niya. Kasi it would depend how he develops or how he develops as a character per campaign that I put him in. It's like an exploration of then yung pag-grow ni Nathaniel as a character for me. So, in this campaign,
Booklight.
fuck you. Anyway, for this campaign, I'd like to think, ganun pa rin. He has an absentee father. The father, quote unquote, mysteriously ran away years before the death of his mom. So, well, there we go. Absentee father, dead mother. And yung mother niya is the one that he was so very, very close. Bakit yung daddy issues? Sorry. Sorry, direct na ako dun. Nadaloy ako dun. But, yes. Puta ka na. Sorry.
Di ko kasalanan
Anyway.
Di ko kasalanan
Anyway,
na parehas yung characters ninyo may daddy issues. Oh, yung isa bisexual, yung isa naman
Oh, sorry po.
raging
Ano yan eh.
Di ko na kasalanan
Fucking,
yun.
life, art imitates life. Ganon.
That's fucking life po. Anyway, so to go back sa relationship naman niya with his parents, he has very little and vague memories of his father, but he does recall his dad being very protective, at least of him in his early years. The nature of how he left and in the memory of Nathaniel, hindi niya alam talaga kung why his father left. All he knows is that there is an unaddressed rage that he is suppressing for the last, in human years, 27 years. So, ayun. And his mom is the one that he was very, very, very close with. He recalls everything fondly about her, down from her lullabies to attending to his his wounds to supporting him emotionally until like 15 years old. And then down from inheriting so many features from Jenilyn to Nathaniel. When he was like younger, he looked a lot more like his mom. So, nung namatay from quote unquote unknown like disease, or pwede natin sabihin quote unquote namatay, kasi that would depend on every fucking DM I put his story to. It was a severe loss for him and the start of like his traumatic experiences moving forward, kasi not only did he have to navigate life as an eldest child, but he also had to navigate life raising his sister, providing for her, caring for her, nurturing her as much as he can, while at the same time trying to navigate his own life. So, lahat na, like, from familial expectations. And then, he has to carry the legacy of his mother, kasi his mother is an inventor of whatever world this is, one of the first, tawag dito, parang unconventional guns or parang breakthrough na gun the first of its kind that it is charged by, it only responds to a certain kind of essence, and it's called essence tech. That's developed by his clan only, which is the Emberhorn clan. Na the jewels are rare to get, and how to make the gun itself or make weapons like that itself, it's only known to the Emberhorn clan. So the weapons only respond to the next living Emberhorn member, whoever it is sa susunod na generation or the current generation of Emberhorn name carriers. So he's one of them. That's what he thinks. He thinks he's the only one though. I'm still exploring that area, but ayun. So he also has to carry that one out. I'd like to think for this to plug him in to this fucking universe ng UST. The joke kasi that runs around Nathaniel and UST is sa previous development ko with Nathaniel in his early days when I was also in high school. I headcanon him to study in actual UST as an engineering student. Mechanical engineering student. Which is why, small tangent, ayun nga, that the someone who just unmuted, it's uncanny that my boyfriend right now has also studied from engineering in UST. This is funny.
When
It's
life
so
imitates
funny.
art.
I know, right? Grabe yung pagka-manifest ko. It's like, oh, wait. Yes, but I have my own Nathaniel in this universe. Thank you, Lord! Anyway.
I love being constantly reminded of my failure.
Nah, man,
You're
nah.
not a
Nah,
failure.
you're not.
You're a failure. You're not a
No,
failure.
no, I'm kidding, don't worry. If anything, I can live vicariously off of Nathaniel.
How's
Real?
you still have
Filipino parent core.
dude,
Okay.
you also
Fuck,
have
fuck,
Lepi,
fuck.
so like what do you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Ayun. So, thank you. Thank you, honey. Anyway. Sorry po. In love po kasi ako sa jowa ko. Sorry. Anyway. Um,
Pwede nga. Sabi to.
anyway, so going back, so si Nathaniel talaga, a huge part of this like development and his character is rooted in UST. For some reason, I don't know then nangyari na lang. But apparently in nung first campaign ko with him in 2023, I made him the parang part ng organization that I cleverly disguised as Underground Scavengers of Trade. Eh putang ina, ano pa namang i-spell nun as an acronym? UST, di ba? Pucha. Tapos, eventually, I made him the vice chairman of that organization kasi yung organization na yon technically ginawa ng mom niya. His mom is one of the co-founders. So, I don't know kung paano mapaplug in yun dito sa universe na to, yung ganong lore, but for this universe, he is the department head at least of engineering and artificing, while still being a very prominent, siguro let's say yung mom niya is still like an important legacy figure sa university. And especially when it comes to artillery, siguro siya nag-introduce ng new blueprints to a certain kind of gun or whatever that eventually led to the gun that he's using. By the way, it's called the point shooter, and it acts like something like Caitlyn Karaman's ult in League of Legends, that it never ever misses. But kung may nakapunta sa in front of the target, may hit pa rin yun. So it's kind of like that. You know?
Kiraman?
Putang ina. Can you please stop? Just correct me later, you grammar Nazi.
I love you, honey.
Anyway, I hate you. Anyway, so I'd like anything else I wanna like dump kasi I technically can just dump here.
Si
Siguro before we
Monica.
get into like other
Monica!
specific. So, teka lang! Wait lang, para ma-establish ko na si entrance ni Monica dito. Wait lang. Ito. So, In relationships naman, so he has a couple of he has a couple of like friends muna. His friends are si saan to? Bianca Lorelai, childhood best friend niya. Kasama siguro siya sa mga boards or trustees ng ano under the department ng uh, engineering and artificing. Tapos mostly though she specializes in more of alchemy. Mas magaling siya on that department. And then he also has the Devani twins, si Holin at si Halia or Halia, I don't know how to pronounce it for now. But they're both nicknamed as Lynn and Leah. So, mga technically parang college college colleagues niya yung twins. Tapos si Bianca is his childhood best friend. Who is, by the way, very much also engaged to her fiancé. Um, they are lesbians. They're lesbians. They have lesbian legs. Yes.
Walawa.
Anyway, walawa. Walawa. And ang funny kasi notorious na man-hater si ano eh, si Bianca. And she has a, at least, you know, it's a gay man, sure, but sometimes she still looks at him, she's like, I keep forgetting you're a fucking man. Si Nate is like, can you just please let me do my papers? I'm not even doing anything. Ayun, so, going to the next part that would
Oh,
introduce Monica.
men, am I right?
Real.
Real. Vander Silco and the Dead Mom. Okay. All right. Wait lang. Okay? Huh? Okay. So, actually, funny you mentioned that trope. Kasi that's technically yung trope ng mom ni Nathaniel. And then technically his like stepfather figure na si Chamberlain Carrion. And another guy that I have to yet make kasi I keep forgetting to make that third co-founder eh. So it was also uncanny that parallel it had just happened. I'm so sorry. So anyway, going back to the fucking relationships. So one of the very important exes, or technically I'm gonna be very frank, the only ex that he's ever had in relationships, he had some like weird situationships and casual flings, I don't know, but he's the confused type sometimes when it comes to relationship stuff. He's ISTJ, so take that as you will. But introducing Philip Flenolin. I don't know how to pronounce it better in an elvish manner or elvish sounding way. But Philip has been his former childhood best friend then. Si Bianca aggressively took that spot just for herself when they broke up. Tapos, Philip is Nathaniel's ex-fiancé. Oof! Ow! We're getting there, huh?
Yep.
Hindi lang ex-fucking fiancé. Yikes! Ang nangyari pa is the day before the fucking wedding, yung nangyaring pag-leave ni Philip. Oh, what? Aray! Puta! Sorry, anak. Okay. So, yung whole scenario on why that happened, it's because Philip was still very young and he is also a socialite kasi that had bigger expectations on him kasi everyone was looking at the golden boy. So if you look at the parallel again, it's basically like JVic if you it's a very failed JVic timeline, I guess. I don't know. Golden boy tapos the very very smart twink, I guess. I don't know if would you call Victor a twink?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so he is. Yun, JVic, technically. So, I have yet to go to the specifics of this breakup, but Philip has made a mistake then of always trying to keep their engagement pa nga lang mismo, and he's a socialite in secret or in wraps. But kasi he also low-key didn't want Nathaniel to feel the pressure kasi Nathaniel's already dealing with a lot, legacy pa ng mom, raising his sister and raising himself, navigating through carrying such a heavy title. Um, but he made that mistake na parang just hiding that in itself, and it caused so much problems in the relationship, trust issues, constant din na away sometimes. And then eventually, yung parents ni Philip, who are, by the way, let's just straight up say assholes, um, wasn't approving of Nathaniel. That furthermore added to Nathaniel's like gripes or like grievances of not being enough. Kasi they were like, it's like for someone na ang laki-laki ng legacy, parang he's not even doing a good job. He's always so anxious, he's always so ganito ganyan, nitpicking on him a lot. And Philip, being very young and also being pressured by the socialite life, he let those anxieties and insecurities of himself
Get to him.
eat him up and get to him, yes, and bleed into the relationship very bad. Na naapektuhan na rin si Nathaniel. Philip losing a bad bitch. Amen.
Real.
Amen. 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 He fumbled. He fucking fumbled. He fucking fumbled so fucking bad. Yes, fucking shit, Philip. Tang ina mo. Look at that man. Like, look at him. What the fuck? Dude. You could have this would have just been easily fixed if you just fucking communicated like a fucking adult, even though you were still quote unquote young. You were already an adult by that age. What the fuck? Anyway, parang ako si Bianca eh. I'll make that canon. Bianca said that. Bianca for real said that. So after this, Nathaniel has been single for a really, really long time and has then transitioned to his very meticulous OCD nature. To give you a summarization of his like personality, I guess. Nate's personality embodies precision, introspection, and an unyielding commitment to structure. He carries the demeanor of someone older, shaped by years of self-discipline and the weight of high expectations. His calculated and logical nature is evident in every aspect of his life, from his meticulously organized workplace to his unwavering adherence to routine. Yet beneath this composed exterior lies a reservoir of complexity, marked by a quiet vulnerability and a deep-seated need for purpose. So, just because of that, though, despite his focus on logic, Nate is not devoid of emotional depth. His introspection often leads him to existential questions about identity, worth, and the balance between productivity and fulfillment. Struggles with the idea of failure, not as a measure of skill, but as a reflection of his character, pushing him to strive for excellence even in trivial matters. Perfectionism, he's very notorious for that, both his greatest strength and most significant flaw, driving him to succeed but also isolating him from the imperfections of life he finds difficult to embrace. So there's more to his personality, pero again, that's a Patreon unlocking. And siguro pwede nyo lang basahin sa master list if y'all want to view it.
Yep.
But other things I want to note about his personality, his humor is dry, often unintentional, and tinged with a self-awareness that makes his rare moments of levity all the more striking. He values efficiency and purpose. His occasional clumsiness in social situations adds an unintentional charm, making him a compelling balance of competence and relatability. At his core, Nate is a thinker, a man of plans and blueprints, striving for clarity in a world that resisted. So, para siyang you would think he is the personification of precision, order, so devoid na agad siya of emotion. But I experimented with a duality that kaya pinili ko talaga ISTJ because that is the MBTI that is not also emotionally devoid and not closed off to other ideas outside from what he's known and tested. But also, fun fact, he has AUDHD. So he needs structure and is very reliant on it and is open to ideas. But it's a very, very difficult process when he opens himself to another fact to explore it. Lol. Yes, exactly. So that's that for at least a basic of Nathaniel's overall lore kasi there's a lot more introspection, everything parallels, tangina. Um to introduce Monica. Ewan ko kung bias din si Mari kay Monica eh. Pero kasi si Mari is a huge contributor to Monica as a character. So ngayon, Monica in place of Nathaniel's growth. This is the first woman that he's ever felt affections for because he's always known himself to strictly be a homosexual. The first woman that he's ever had a crush on. And sayang wala akong hindi ma-flash yung picture ni Monica here. I mean, if you see Monica, you would get it. She would also be like your straight awakening. Your heterosexual awakening. I don't know. She could be either your heterosexual or homosexual awakening. She's just that girl, you know. So brief background on Monica. Monica is a former socialite, removed herself from that spotlight to make a name for herself, became the department head of, tanga na, syempre, CFAD, yung technically CFAD ng university. Because she's a very artistic girl. She technically embodies the carefree artistic nature of me, but without the anxiety and over-planning. So, si Monica, he's met her in the canon lore. They're technically co-chairs or parang co-vice chairmen. So parang vice chairman of internal affairs si Nathaniel and vice chairman of external affairs si Monica. So Monica campus crush kahit faculty. Totoo. Siguro in her early college days, campus crush din siya ng marami. So, of course, she also studied in UST. Pero noon, when, funnily enough, I wanna headcanon na nag-study both si Nate and Monica in UST, pero since ang laki-laki ng tanginang organization na yan, they never crossed paths, but they were in the same fucking campus. Oh, fuck! Okay, wait. This wasn't intentional. Mari, this wasn't intentional. I just realized, honey? Honey? Hello?
Yes.
This wasn't intentional. I just made a headcanon that Nate and Monica studied in college in UST, but they never really met each other during their college days in UST.
It's not even a head canon. That's canon. It's already part in my DM notes.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
And then for
Kasi,
back and
fun
art, this is
fact.
also insane. May
Uh,
dadagdagan ako for Again, mamaya ko ikukwento. Hindi pwede malaman to ng mga estudyante natin.
Mga estudyante. Baka OC ka rin talaga. Oo nga eh. I feel like low-key if Monica or no, if Nate made an OC, it would be me. Oh my god. But yeah, honey, that's the canon. It's technically canon now. It's not even a head canon. Because when I calculated the timeline that technically Johan and me studied under UST, there was a time that we technically could have crossed paths or timelines crossed. But since UST is fucking huge and the engineering building is far from the CFAD building, we it's highly improbable that we've seen each other in a close approximate that would make us remember each other now. Kimi no. I love you.
I love you too.
Anyway,
So,
so
final.
si Monica, dephead ng sifad, ayun. And then, um, how they started to develop, uh, it was such a sweet, it was actually a very sweet development I made also with Mari. Also showed to her yung Patreon ng fic na sinusulat ko. By the way, Mari, you're gonna have another feast kasi I already have written out yung how they confess that they love each other.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah, the love confession is brewing. It's almost done. So, yeah. Um basta I don't know how to perfectly exemplify paano nag-develop that Nathaniel discovered that he's bisexual. One, two, that he has fallen for someone like Monica. And how did you encapsulated it really well, Mari, how Monica became the catalyst of his like bisexual awakening and his like how he loves Monica, parang ganon. How did you encapsulate that again?
Essentially, they provide each other the balance that they needed. So, because of it, Monica's spontaneity and her joie de vivre, she was able to give life and breath to Nathaniel, and then Nathaniel gave Monica all of the stability and groundedness that she needed in her entire life. And then mamaya meron ako nakakwento rin about kay Bach and Art. So like, around 9:45, kailangan ko na i-finish din yung recording because I really want to share the faculty members na.
First, ayun.
Ayun na
Sige,
kasi,
I'll give like
proceed.
a 4-minute summary na of the rest that I need to tell about Monica. So basta, Monica, Nate, it was like a constant pining for one another. There was one weekend vacation that happened that kind of made Nathaniel see Monica in a different light, yada yada yada. He started being a little avoidant with her all of a sudden, and she's like, "What? Why the fuck are you doing that?" It's like I thought we were like partners or like besties, ganun. Like because they do work like simultaneously, and then because Nate is trying to navigate through his new feelings for a woman and for someone like Monica, he's technically became more avoidant to the point that it broke he said something that kind of broke Monica, and then Monica suddenly also became avoidant, yada yada yada. And then in that nare-realize din ni Monica na wait, okay, why am I reacting this way? And she's like, oh, wait, ako rin, may feelings din ako kay Nate. So it's like so in the end, there's a gala that happened. Syempre, gagawin kong fucking cheesy in a fic-esque kind of way na alam din ni Mari how it went. Basically, gala, the confession happened in a fucking balcony. Balcony scene. Tapos, ayun, nagka-confess sa isa't isa. And after that, ayun, they just navigated through their new feelings and eventually in this universe, they got engaged. Ayun pa. That's I told you I've passionately ramble about this man and si Monica then technically. The more that I develop her, the more that I will the more that I will yap about her. So if you were to ask me to choose between my lover and Nathaniel, I would probably want just opt to kill myself instead. Thank you.
That's so real. All right. That goes for the onboarding of the faculty members. So for next session, we will be introducing all of the faculty members again with the students. So, yung isa dito, si Lepi, next session, makikilala mo na kagad yung iba mong kabatchmates, especially yung mga kaklase mo. So,
Let's go.
let's fucking go, dudes. So it's 9:43. I'm going to end the recording. Thank you very much for all.
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait.
Go.
Sorry, add lang ako. Like, just for a good sample in this fucking verse, like how Nate would be as a dep head and a professor.
Go.
He's very, known to be very meticulous and very, strict with his standards. But parang natatawa din yung students kasi he has an awkward and charming nature to him like right after ganon. So it's like minsan he's so like strict with tawag dito, his like order and all that, pero minsan medyo clumsy din
Nakaluto na.
given the right
Initin mo sa
social kind of
Kung gusto
situation.
mong initin, pwede namang initin na.
But he is not unkind. If you make the right enough case, ang gina-joke ng mga students is gagawa ka ng thesis defense for your grades para i-allow ni Sir Emberhorn na taasan yung grades nyo or bigyan kayo ng chance to redeem your grades. Parang ganon. So like anime girl that I guess.
Real.
But ayun nga, marami din nagkaka-crush sa kanya. And whenever a student admits to him or like may magsasabi sa kanya, itong friend ko may crush po sa inyo, sir. He's like this, there's this big question mark on his face. Is like, okay, how is this relevant to the class? So, tapos, he would also promptly imply, you do know that I have a fiance, right? And he would find any fucking opportunity to yap about Monica. Ayun.
So, yun yung tactic nila para maubos yung time ng class.
Kasi, they're like, sir, di ba may ito po yung ano ni Monica, something about Monica, and he's like, actually, mali ka, kasi si Monica, ganito, ganyan. Tapos, ganun. Tapos, natapos na yung buong class nila. Ayun. So, don't need to be fully afraid kasi at least he's not unkind. Pero, medyo mahirap to, like, try to convince him to lower his standards for your grades. Kasi, nako, very pristine tong prof na to sa ano. Lalo na sa artillery siguro, artillery classes.
Yep.
It's very strict.
So, makinig ka
And
na
this is the
maayos, Lepi. Fucking take note,
Yeah.
Lepi.
And then Lepi's just like looking out the window at the sun.
My God. And this is the only time it would probably be reasonable that people say only a few people get to pass his artillery class or even the thesis part of the artillery course siguro. Ayun. Ha!
Parang nalulure in yung students kasi they find the professor cute. And then, nagugulat na lang sila. Ang hirap pala nung klase.
O bakit off to by 0.1 millimeters? Diba tinuruan na kita kanina?
Ooh.
Diba? Why weren't you listening?
Okay.
Okay, but you should have eaten before the class.
I'm going to stop the recording. You guys can keep yapping. Sa mga susunod na students, see you in the next session. Tangina, bring your fucking notebooks, bitches!